I thought you were stuck for a second. Okay, welcome back to the Street Shaman Podcast. I am your host, Shamanic Poe, aka Poe and the Rock Star, and today I'm here with special guest, owner of her own podcast, Rins Cafe, Rin Ali. How you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. I hope you're doing good as well. I just had a busy day today, so I'm glad I'm going to be doing this podcast since it's been a really long time since not really long time, but it's been a while since I've done another podcast.
Okay, so why haven't you done other podcasts where nobody asking you to be on? Where did you take a break from doing podcasts? 'Cause I know you were doing a lot of different podcasts for a while. You had a bunch of different guests on, so you took a break.
Yes, I took a break because I felt that I wasn't in a good space mentally, and my motivation went down a lot faster than I had expected. So I was actually a lot more worried that they wouldn't come out the way I wanted them to, or that I felt stuck in a way
Okay,
because I was also
so
dealing with some stuff from school as well, which just made me a lot more tired.
how long was it? How long have you been doing podcasts?
I've been doing these podcasts since last year, since the pandemic, because there was nothing to do, and you and a few of the other guys on Tentacle Croissant, and talking to people is like something that I always like to do.
Right.
And I didn't know you could just do something like this with like a bunch of friends and or people you meet, and you could make like a show together. And because people have been like struggling, especially where I'm from, because if you're going for like something that has like more of a higher production value, then it's a bit more difficult. And was a lot easier because I already had some of the stuff laying around, and
Okay.
I wanted to. And I had a lot of friends who did a lot of stuff creatively, and I wanted them to tell their story in a way like this.
Okay.
And
So
yeah,
so it was just because of the pandemic, everything that was going on, you wanted to have another outlet to be able to talk to people that were creatives and were and you knew some creatives, you knew some people that were creative, and you
yes,
figured it'd be kind of easier for you to get into, right? And then
of course.
after a period of time, you decided, or the energy was lost, or maybe you couldn't get enough more people that you wanted to get on, or what was it that made you just decide, let me just take a step back? Was it because you couldn't get certain people on? Was it like issues? Because for me, like, I got a lot of people that I can connect with, and I know a lot more people that I could possibly bring to the podcast, but because of like scheduling issues, or some people are a little bit more timid to get on a camera, even though they have amazing talents and they're super creative. They're a little bit more timid to get on camera. So then you're there like trying to chase them down for a date, or you get them scheduled, and then they like last minute they go, oh, I'm not sure, I don't think I can do it, and then you're like, dude, I said, because
Yeah.
I had to cancel 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had to cancel last
Mm.
minute. I have a meeting, and it's like, you have a meeting, but we scheduled this 2 weeks in advance, and I told you to pick the time, just like you, Ren, right? I told
Yes.
you to pick the time because I'm making it comfortable for the person, because I understand, like, I can go and talk at any time of the day, really. It'll suck probably if I'm more later on in the day, I might be tired, but I could talk any time. So if you want to really do this, then we'll schedule the time. But I want that person to schedule the time because it's on them. It's not on me. It's not, oh, you put it at a certain time, so now I can't do it. No, you got to take accountability. You know what I mean? Was it something
Yes.
that you were dealing with? Were you dealing with people flaking, or was it just something that you got like, what else am I going to talk about?
Those weren't actually like the issues I had. Like I have actually have enough people that want to be in a podcast with me. but the issues actually came from my own motivation and the stuff I was struggling with at along with school and a couple of social issues because I'm new, so I have to rebuild a uh, more newer bonds with more people.
Oh,
So,
oh, breaking up, breaking up. What did you say? Sorry.
yeah, because I'm a lot, I needed the time to build up more bonds with more people, and I knew how to schedule stuff with people, but for the podcast, but in my regular social life, because I don't have that much experience with people, even though it's not that hard for me to talk to people and such, but I just needed some more time to adjust to that. And I was having stress from that, stress from school, which led me to not really want to do stuff creatively anymore or want to do work on my YouTube channel, my music, or my art. I just felt
Okay.
empty.
So you were feeling a little depressed, and
Yes.
you don't know where that came from outside of just being swamped down with all this stuff going on with your school. Like how what grade are you in right now?
I'm actually doing university. Um, I did not pass this year, unfortunately. I was having a lot of issues as well because it's a different system compared to what I was used to. This is more of the modern version in the Netherlands, their
Okay.
curriculum, and
Okay,
I
so
was
where
used to
where
something else.
sorry, where were you from originally, or where were you prior to being in the Netherlands?
I'm from Suriname. This is actually one of the old colonies from the Netherlands. They basically went separate ways, and in a way, Suriname still has like the old stuff left over from. So I mostly grew up with that, and I was used to that a lot more,
Okay.
even though there's
Okay.
still like a connection for school reasons. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got into the podcast because you got into the podcasting because Tentacle Croissants and Richard and Pierre, and then how are you finding the people? How are you connecting with people that were creative? Because you had some pretty interesting people on your show. So how are you able to connect with them? You knew them from like around the way, or you knew them from like school or something?
No, I actually, the people that when I did the interviews back in Suriname, those were actually people from that I knew from school, and some I knew through Tentacle Croissant. I gotten to know a few people as well, and because I'm also taking part in some fandoms and some stuff related to music and art, I end up finding many people, or people end up recommending me people, and I approach them on Instagram or Facebook, message back and forth. And so far, it has really worked. Both had a good time on the podcasts.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So what are you? I know it's called Rins Art Cafe. That's like your podcast name, right? So
Yeah.
you're mostly. I'm gonna assume that you're mostly driven towards art. Um,
Yes.
do you do any art? Do you dabble into any art yourself?
Oh, yes, I do, of course.
Be
Yeah,
careful, you on
must have
headphones.
misplaced it, but yeah, I have so much to show, like because I do stuff with painting, uh, like stuff like sculpting, painting, like that form of art, and then there are also other forms, as in, for instance, martial arts as well.
Okay, but I seen you doing. The reason why I asked it was like I wanted you to talk about it because obviously I know. I looked. I see you do some drawings. You did a few paintings and stuff. Have you worked on anything digitally yet? like
Oh,
with an iPad and a stylus and
I've there's the old iPad that I use. I don't really use it anymore because I'm saving up for a new one because I've gotten to know that there are a lot better programs that I can actually use because I used to experiment with animation as well, but digitally, and a lot of digital art as well. But recently, because there was like a whole thing with my motivation for the past few years as well, I had sort of lost contact with that, even though it's a part of me that I wanted to see flourish. I actually want to see how far it can take me actually. And
yeah.
here I have like a lot better of an opportunity because there are a lot more resources here into art, animation, and it's a lot better or a lot easier to find a job here if you know where to go, and with the schools and stuff with the education, it's a lot
Okay, so
easier.
you're saying in the Netherlands it's a lot easier. It's more of a demand for arts and for creativity for like what are you trying to do? Graphic design? Are you trying to do like logos for people? Are you trying to do artwork that's like in a comic book, cartoons? Like what is it that you're trying to do? Because I've seen some of your artwork is like anime-ish. I seen you made drawing a Pierre or whatever. But is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to do something like Magna or something or
Um, at the moment, it's more of practicing some skills, experimenting just for myself, because I haven't really thought about in which direction I want to go. But definitely, animation has called to me a bit more. Animation, character designs. So I'm go in the next few years. I'm going to explore that as well.
okay, that's good. That's good. Um, yeah, I would like to see some more shit. I'd like to see you do some crazy things, put some stuff out there. If you're willing to do certain designs, because your art style is definitely different from what I do and from what my girlfriend does. I think, if I'm gonna start doing t-shirts soon, hey, we can get design, pay you for the design, get you started, get you going.
Yeah, I need to practice a bit more because I feel that I've gotten a bit rusty. So I have to get back to studying some more poses.
Sure. And everybody feels rusty. Every creative person, unless you're a narcissist, complete psychopath, you're gonna feel like, yeah, I'm a little rusty. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get into my bag and figure out what I'm gonna make or something like. But I'm sure you can do it. I saw what you can do. If you put your mind to it, you set some time apart, you'll be able to do it. So I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up with that T-shirt design? I'm gonna bother you for the next months or so.
Because like
Um,
I'm a person I that can't sit. I have to do something creative, whether it has music, like characters or like figures or like when I hear somebody's having a baby, I make like these baby socks, or I draw if I have like strong emotions about something. I express it through drawing.
so
So
what I'm hearing from you is that you're very creative. You're willing to do all types of things, but you just don't know exactly what you can do that provide to be able to make you some money. Or are you not thinking about money when you do creative stuff? You're not thinking about money, or you, because everybody got to think about money. Like the world
yeah,
revolves around
so
money, whether we like it or not.
it's actually a
Go
bit
ahead.
of both. When I'm in the moment doing more like something for myself, or like I feel very passionate about something and I'm putting that passion out in an art form, then at that moment I don't think about money. But if somebody asks me like uh commissions me, then I do it for the person for money, of course. But I haven't had a commission yet.
Well, there's a commission waiting for you. You get it. Well, at first I have to hit you up with what I would want, but you get it done, and then we'll go from there. You'll get commission. I'll send it to you through PayPal. No big deal. we'll get that going. I want to see you start working on some of this stuff, and just
Yeah,
start making it happen.
me too. Like I've been waiting for way too long in my life to go and follow this path. But apparently, I do have to wait a little longer because of um, how should I say this? Because I'm not sure in which direction I want to go in at the moment. Because I also am studying later on. I would love to go to an art school and actually study it a lot more, and grow because I feel that I might actually feel a lot better if I get that guidance because I feel that I'm studying. At the moment, I found myself studying more. Yeah, many artists have to do this. It's you have to study naked people in many different poses because you have to get the anatomy correct, and then
Yeah.
you put clothes, and then you see how the clothes basically fit on the person because sometimes if you don't follow those steps it doesn't end up looking the way you want to.
Right, right, right. So you were talking about arts, and I know before we started this, let me get something out of my eye. My curls, they get in my eye, they fuck me up. Um, Before we started this, we were talking about another art that you were doing. So what is
Yes,
it? What's the other art that you're doing right now?
it's a martial art actually.
What is it?
It
What
is
is it? What is it? What is
okay.
it?
I'm
Tell
not
me.
sure if you're familiar with kendo. It's a type of sword martial art in Japan, and I'm actually
Okay.
doing one of them called Katori Shintoryu, and it
Mm.
originates from uh, two shrines actually in Japan.
Hold on. What's that called again? I can't do that. Say
Uh,
it again. One more time.
Katori Shintoryu.
Kantori Shintoryu. Did I say it right?
Not really, but A
Fuck.
for effort.
Okay. So what is that? What is that about? Because I know you were telling me that you can't really say everything about it because it's kind of like a
It's
secret.
a it's yeah, it's sort of like a closed practice. You're not allowed to say uh what you're doing there exactly, what
Okay.
being taught or the practices. But I actually doing that, and I feel that it uh a breath because it's excited because I was like I said before, I wasn't in a good place along with like moving from like another country, and there's corona, and like I did like a good outlet, a healthier outlet. I was looking for like this thing I could do, somebody that could probably guide me, and a place where I could just feel motivated, like I'm actually doing
Right.
something
Right.
and
And you
I'm
wanna
seeing
and you wanna
progress.
fuck and you wanna fuck some shit up too at the same time.
But the thing is, you're only allowed to do that in the dojo. You're not allowed to use this to fight against someone. This is one of like the important rules
Of course.
because you could be bad if you break. So this is
Hold on, Rin.
important.
Hold on, Rin. Hold on, Rin, because you kind of broke up on me. I don't know if anyone else you broke up on, but what was the last thing you said? You have to make sure that you're not beating somebody's ass at random.
You're not allowed to show your skills outside or like show anything outside or fight with
Right.
anybody, like because
Right. That's
it goes against the teachings. And if
right. Right.
people want to learn about this, I encourage them to look it up themselves. You might not find all the information, but there's enough out there if you actually want to know more and actually do this. You can go look up if you can find like a dojo in your area that actually teaches it. Then you can go ahead and ask the person their questions. I'm not
Right.
authorized to answer those types of questions or talk about that.
Okay, so how did that you doing this type of martial arts that's very secret now it makes me want to do it, because I'm like, what is this secret shit? Excuse me. How's that making you? How is that like changing you? How is that helping you? How's that benefiting you in any way?
Um, because usually I'm actually inside most of the time. So, because my situation is like a bit confusing at the moment with school and stuff. So, when I started to actually go to these classes, I felt a lot better in the sense of I felt more motivated and I wanted to push further to learn more, to actually do my best. And when I saw my progress, I felt good on the inside. I felt that I'm actually doing something. And for the rest of my day, I didn't feel, I would say, because I have like this negative self-talk. I wasn't doing that anymore. I was doing it like more positively, like saying like, "Hey, you did it today. I'm proud of you. Good job. Now we're gonna go train
Okay.
some more." So
Okay, so how long have you been doing the training, and how many days a week do you do the training?
um, I've been training since April. Since then, it was
Okay.
like 2 days a week, and now it's gone to 3 days a week.
Okay. Okay, so 3 days a week. So that's like damn near every other day you're going at it. For how long? Like an hour or two?
Yeah, uh, an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, and
Okay.
sometimes we have uh, like a training session with another dojo. So it's a lot. It's interesting, and I
Okay.
get to know a lot more people because that's a thing that I was struggling with a lot in the beginning. So this is something that actually helped me and helped me get through my difficult times. That's why it's actually like really close to my heart.
No, I understand. I understand. And how long have you been in Netherlands? How long have you been there?
I've been here since September, but I actually have a
Oh, so
I
no,
have a
no. So hold on. So you've been here
okay.
since September. So you only had about maybe 6 to what? I don't even know what month we're in now. Um, maybe not even a year, right? Let's just say 10 months, right? So
Yeah.
you barely know anybody. Is there like a lot of brown people in fucking, it's hard for brown people unless there's other brown people sometimes. Is there enough brown people in Netherlands? Because I had never been there. I wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah, there is, but like it's like different like depending on where you go and such. But I'm close to Amsterdam, so it's a lot more of like a hot spot for people to come here, and then like because most of this like the fun stuff is here that you can't get in other places. You have to like travel a bit
Mm-hmm.
further. So
Mm-hmm. All the raunchy stuff. I know about all the raunchy stuff they do in Amsterdam. That's the thing. Because I never been out the States, so I'm ignorant to like out of the States. Sometimes I forget like Amsterdam is in the Netherlands. So if you're near Amsterdam, then you know a lot of people that are probably aspiring to do raunchy shit, or they it's right there in their backyard. So maybe they're like, maybe that's my life. That's where I have to go and do things. Like that's where the fun is, right?
no, I'm not I'm not really that type of person.
I'm not talking about you, girl. I'm talking about people around you. I'm talking about people
Okay,
around
perhaps, perhaps, but I haven't asked any of those questions just yet.
you. Why not? You're more conservative. You're more
Yeah,
relaxed.
that
Yeah,
that's me in
that's
the beginning. If we get to know each other a lot better and we've seen each other a lot more, then that sort of breaks away, and then we can just like we can just be talking chill about those types of stuff.
right. Right. No doubt. No doubt. So How is everything over there with the lockdown? Is it like still existing? Are you guys still locked down? Or what's going on?
Mm, there, it has changed actually. I was so happy because in the beginning there was like a curfew. Now the curfew is gone, and places are opening back up again. I was so excited for this because when everything was closed and I was more isolated, I felt a lot worse, especially in the beginning of like December, somewhere in the middle of December. I got really sick. I couldn't even walk out of bed.
Yeah?
And
Why? Did you get the COVID?
no, it was because of the was online, and
Mhm.
uh, because I had like a fail, I would uh, pass my years in all in university, and it all weighed down very much on me in December, and I couldn't really walk. I had trouble eating. Family members had to take me to their place for a little while. So it was,
You had you're telling me you had trouble eating?
yeah, like I began forgetting. I had like a lot of memory issues. I forgot where I was. I was just watching YouTube videos, just random YouTube videos, just like every day, because like it was also a break from school, and I
Mm-hmm.
had to prepare for the other exams and stuff like that. And I had a lot of free time, and I did not go outside. The gym was closed. I didn't really have friends to go out with, and I just stayed inside. And slowly, I didn't want to do my art anymore. I didn't want to work on what I was working on. I was just completely tired every day.
Okay. So like yeah, that's part of that's definitely sounds like depression. It's like I deal with that sometimes. If I don't go out enough, and sometimes I just don't go out at all. But if I go out just at least twice a week, even for a ride, like even though I don't want to go on a ride, my girl's gonna, hey, come with me to the store so we could buy some shit, and I don't even want to go. But if I decide to go, I feel a lot better about myself afterwards. I feel a little bit better. I feel like, okay, I went outside, I saw some shit. Like, if we don't get to go outside and just be able to see something different that we don't normally see every day, especially like in a house or in a small apartment, you have to, you end up getting into this weird headspace where you just get depressed and slowly but surely just uh become like just you just become stiff. You become like fuck, I'm losing my words. Um you just become less of you. You forget who you are, you forget the things that you can do, you forget the things that you've done. So sometimes you just need to get out,
Yeah.
go walk around the block, just go for a walk, go for a ride, you know? Because if you don't get that type of energy, you think that, oh, even if you're not interacting with other people, you think, I'm not interacting with other people, what do I need to go outside? But
Yeah.
there's something in that, just being in nature or just being in the world, that brings us back to life, that I can't understand. I really don't understand. I can't really even describe to people. But you know the difference of being in a dungeon or being in a house or being locked in a room. I know for sure being locked in a room for weeks on end and not going out, and then going out 2, 3 times a week, and getting a world of difference, just a world of difference of just how you see things, just how you feel, just how you have more pep in your step. There's something to it. So
Yeah.
we're not supposed to be like cave people living in a cave and just in a dungeon or just closed quarters with fake light on us. We need the sun to hit us. We need natural air to hit us. You know, it's just something about that. So, especially with this lockdown and this pandemic, we've been more forced to stay inside, and we start feeling a little funny about going outside, because especially for me, it's like I got to go outside, I got to wear a mask everywhere I go. No one wants to sit around with a mask on their face. Some people do, but most people don't want to walk around with a mask on their face. Yes, we do. We want to do it to help our brethren. We want to help our people around us. We want to make sure everybody's safe, whatever. So we'll wear it. Despite all the bullshit that we heard about it and all the extra shit that goes along with that, we wear the fucking mask. But that alone makes me feel weird about going outside. So you'll be like, you'll second guess every time you want to go outside. You go, oh, well, I don't really want to wear the mask. Go ahead. And you're skipping times to get that energy from other people, from from nature, from the sun, just because of the mask, just because of the circumstances. Because also the masks, you're wearing the fucking mask and everybody's looking at you a certain type of way. Everybody's like emotionally giving off different energy than they would without a mask. And that just fucks you up completely. For me, especially, like, I'm more like I absorb, I get my energy from my environment. And maybe that's you too. As creatives, I think that's kind of the thing. So, like, for instance, not to run off on a tangent, but like as a rapper, if you're rapping and you're with a group of people that all believe in going to the party and going clubbing, then that's where your music's going to come from. If you do music by yourself, it's going to end up being a little bit more emotional, a little bit more thought driven. But if you do music in a group, you're going to think about the group. You're going to think about everybody else's feelings and get everybody else in the same vibe. So it's almost the same thing, just living. If you don't witness other people, you don't see other people, you don't see other things, you just start withering away. And I guess that's the word I was looking for before, withering away. Yeah. So were you feeling like that? Were you feeling like you were withering away?
Like in my head, it felt like I was really tired and I was going in and out of consciousness. It was a scary feeling. I do not want to feel that ever again.
Okay. So were you sleeping good, or were you not sleeping good?
I wasn't sleeping good. I actually slept too much, which actually caused me to be a lot more tired. And because I'm experiencing that at the moment, because I'm having a break and stuff like that from school, because I'm starting again in September. My days are just free, and like the evening I go to my practice, like the martial art, or I go to gym, and the moment I actually come back, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot like that part that was missing actually came back, because I've noticed that because of the whole thing with the isolation issue, I have gotten problems with memory loss, which actually makes me worried at times.
It makes you worried because you have a memory loss?
Yeah, because
that's part of age. You're not going to remember everything, girl. You think you're going to remember everything?
Not in that sense. I mean, memory loss in the sense of sometimes I forget if I, for instance, closed my house or misplaced something, or when I'm studying, after I'm done, I forget that I studied that thing already, and which actually worries me. I get disoriented, and it doesn't feel well. It makes me feel a little awkward as well, especially when I'm adjusting back to social stuff now, since most things are open.
Right.
Or sometimes I'm lost. I want to say something, but I forget to say it. And these are these little things that came as a result of the isolation and not really interacting with many people, which is something that I want to work away, like get it out of my system. Because
no, absolutely. It's when you have to. This is like a thing that I did say on Tentacle Croissant. It was kind of like brushed over, but it's really true, because it's brushed over because it's such a cliche. everybody would like you've heard it 100 times. But if you don't use it, you will lose it.
Yeah.
And that goes with anything that you do. Anything that you do. Like if I'm rapping and I like me rapping. I was rapping since I was a little fucking kid, 8 years old. I've been rapping all my fucking life, right? So rapping, I've done it. It's second nature to me. Now, I took a couple years off of rapping where I didn't write anything for a while, and then coming back to it was so hard to do. It was extremely hard to do. It was a hard process to get me back in the groove of rapping because if you take breaks off of something, when you get back on it, it's not like a bicycle. Everybody wants to say it's like a bike. You just get back on and you ride. And no, everything is not a bike. Some things when you get back to it, you go, oh, wait a minute, what the fuck was I doing? Where is everything again? How's everything placed? How do I do this again? And just being confused or having low self-esteem, and if you don't have a good support system around you, it'll be very hard to get you back to where you need to be. You
Exactly.
know?
And that's a thing that I am struggling with a bit at this moment. But I want to turn it around and actually find a way to make that support system for myself in the way of, for instance, finding a job that allows me to be more social around people. For
Right.
instance, bartending. You're working with people. You're working with people, or like in a store, you're working with people. So I'm
Right.
going to focus on doing that, so I can gain back what I lost. It's not going to be the same, but it will help me in the right direction.
Right. Right. I mean, a lot of, even like with me getting on a podcast, excuse me, because the beer is making me burp. Um, Me getting on a podcast, a lot of it stemmed from just, of course, I love podcasts. I listened to podcasts for a bunch of years, but it was also just being working at like a grocery store, working at a gas station. Just being places where you end up you don't people don't really notice that or don't understand it, but you end up getting ambushed into conversations that you have no part in. You don't want to talk to nobody. You want to do your job, and people will have to talk to you, and you can't be mean, you can't be malicious, so you
Yeah.
have to talk to them. So you get stuck, and I would get stuck for 8 hours on end with people that, I don't know their lives. I don't want to know their lives, but here I am. Now I know their fucking lives. Now they're telling me every little thing. And I'm not going to be a dick. So I'll just be nice and we'll have those conversations. And then from there, you end up just, oh, I know this person. This person's pretty cool. Then I know this person. He's pretty cool. And they're different people from different walks of life, and you just start to meet them and you take them as they are, and eventually you start seeing that most of the people are basically the same outside of what they were influenced on, like any type of music they were influenced into, any type of the movies they were influenced into, the style that they were influenced into, the drugs. Like it's all about where you were as a person and the experiences you had around you. But at the core, everybody's basically the same. And that's one of the things that I learned just from working places and having to deal with tons and tons of people, you know? So
Because
have you ever worked
uh,
anywhere like
um
that?
not yet, but
Okay.
I'm looking for jobs so I can work in that environment, because I think it's going to be a lot for me, and the type of person I am. Because I looked a bit into like that personality test thing, and I
Right.
found it like really interesting. And I was talking with people about it, and what you said actually uh, fits into it a bit. So if you have people from this type of personality, they're more attracted to, or what they were influenced by, they're more attracted to, for instance, this type of content, or this type of event. So you're going to see more people with that type actually joining that event.
Right. Right. So, what are you working on next? What like I seen you did a podcast like a few weeks ago. What other podcasts are you working on? More podcasts?
I actually am because I still have people that I invited to one day have a podcast with. So now my motivation is coming back. I have to uh, line them up again, get like a date so we can uh, schedule that, what time, and so that'd be convenient for them. I just have to I just have to do it because somebody actually approached me. I did not expect this, but somebody approached me and asked me um to have to come on my podcast. And what I also loved is actually to be here on this podcast with you as well.
Thank you, Ren. Thank you, Ren. Come on,
You're
Ren.
welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All the flowers in the world, girl. Stop it. Thank you, Ren. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on the podcast. We can end it right here. We could talk more, but we'll have more conversations later. Don't even worry about it. I
Yeah.
thank everybody for your time and attention, everybody in the chat, everybody that left their little comments and whatever. Um, that is it. That is it. You could donate if you want to donate. PayPal me dot, however you fuck you do it. It's in the description if you want to do that shit. Ren Shamanic Po,
Yeah.
Street Shaman Podcast, and we out of here. Later.